guys, back today with the first video for 2013, and I thought I would show off something I got for Christmas, which I have to say I am very happy with. The Neogeo X Gold, which if you're into video games, I'm sure you know of the Neogeo Advanced Entertainment System, or AES. It was a system that came out in the 90s. It was cartridge based and pretty much was an exact arcade port. Well, actually, from what I understand, it wasn't a port. It was the exact same cartridge as the arcade systems used, but it was just for home use. It was very expensive, and I believe it was around $600 for the base system, and then I believe cartridges were anywhere from $100 to $200 a piece. But when you did get them and get them home, it was exactly the same as the arcade. It even had a memory card that you could put in the home system, save your game, go to the arcade, continue your game, and vice versa. So it was very cool, but at the time I didn't have the means to get it. I had a friend who did have it, and I got to play it, and it was a pretty awesome system, but I myself never had it. So to celebrate the 20-ish anniversary, because I say 20-ish because I think it's actually 22 years since this came out, or yeah, instead of 20 like they were saying, but I could be wrong on that. But what SNK did is they partnered with this company Tomo to release the Neogeo X as kind of like the anniversary celebration system. And essentially what it is it's a handheld. And then the handheld comes preloaded with 20 games. So, you know, it's not a true Neo Geo, I guess, authentic wise. It's more of a handheld with the built-in emulator to run Neo Geo games. But it does have a game cartridge port on it, which it can play additional games. And this package does come with Ninja Masters as an additional cartridge that comes with it. So it's 20 built-in games and Ninja Masters on the card. The system itself then plugs into a docking station. Let me see if I can turn the box around here. The box is stretching the limits of my shooting area here. There we go. Alright, so as you can see there in the diagram, the Neogeo X itself is a handheld. And with this system, it comes with a arcade stick, just like the original Neo Geo did. But this one's USB, which I hear will actually work on a like a PC and a PS3 and stuff. I actually have heard. I don't know if that's true. I haven't tried it yet. But the Neo Geo X, the handheld, plugs into a base docking station that looks like the old Neo Geo system, although smaller. But what that happens though is when you plug it into the base unit, you can then plug in the full arcade stick, and you can plug the base station into the TV, and it outputs with HDMI or component. So you have your choice for what you want, and then you can play all the classic games on there, and it works really well. But I just wanted to kind of give you the overview of the box, kind of talk about the system a little bit. I'm going to open up the box, show you what comes inside, and then I'll show off the handheld and try and capture some gameplay from the handheld itself, just so you can get an idea of what it's like to have. So, like I said, the box, I have the camera about a foot away from my from my normal spot, so I can't actually reach the box too well. So I'm going to just kind of have to edit back and forth here to kind of show you the contents. So I'll be back in just a flash. Alright, so when you open up the box and get the main box out of the way, you're presented with two smaller boxes that contain the different sections of this whole conglomerate of gaming goodness. This one here, you see, comes with the Neogeo X station, the docking station, the actual handheld itself, and the HDMI cable and instructions. It does have a nice little instruction manual. I did go through it. It's kind of quirky how they want you to do some things, but, you know, can you do? So, we'll put that one over here. Now here we've got the second box that contains the arcade stick, the game card for Ninja Masters, the AC adapter, and the AV cable. So we've got that, and then of course I've already got it out, but we have the Neogeo X itself, and I don't know how well this is going to come in. It's reflecting everything, but we'll kind of go over it here. On the back, it's got this nice rubberized kind of coating grip. It's got SNK and nice letters on here. Let's see. Let's tilt down. Maybe I can get the light reflecting. There we go. That's better. So you see SNK. It's got a rubberized grip. It's very comfortable to hold. Along the top here, you've got an R1, an R2 button, mini USB, AV out, HDMI, micro out. Pretty much the docking station plugs into all three of those at the same time, but I'll get into that in a moment. L1 and L2. On this side you've got nothing. Down here you've got volume, headphone jack, and brightness. And then on this side you've got the on-off and the game card, which, if I can get it to come out, it's not spring-loaded. You literally have to just get a fingernail in there. And as far as I can tell, this is just an SD card. But it is Ninja Masters, so can't complain there. Alright, on the front, on this side, we've got the A, B, C, D button, start, speaker, the screen, which is very nice. I know I watched one review and they weren't very happy with the handheld's quality. They thought it was kind of cheap, and I have to say I haven't really felt that. I think it doesn't feel like it flexes. It feels pretty good. I mean, there's, you know, the stick clicks, which kind of threw me. I was first time I sat down to play this, the baby had just fallen asleep, and I start moving this, and I'm like, "Ee, I don't know if I can play this," but it works really well. The buttons are very nice, springy. And over here, of course, is a menu button, which we'll get to in a moment. But that is the handheld. So I'm going to get out the docking station and the control stick, and we'll look at those, and then we'll look at this in action. Alright, so here we are. We're looking at the arcade stick. There we go. Alright, as you can see, you got your buttons there, A, B, C, and D, start, select, and your control stick. I say everything feels really good. I mean, like I said, it doesn't flex. The buttons are definitely kind of have that arcade feel. I mean, I guess, you know, here they could have been a little tighter on things. I did have it out, hooked up to the TV and everything, and it did play really well. I had it plugged in through the component, which, I don't know. It looked like it had a little interference in it, but I won't say this is the Neogeo. See, there's just a USB wire going into the stick. But I won't say it's the Neogeo itself, because the way we have things hooked up right now, we have to share one TV with every video game system I have, you know, modern, new, whatever. And it kind of has to pass through a switch box, and then I don't have a lot of component on the new TV because it's a HD TV, and it's I think it's creating some interference, because a lot of games have like problems. So I'm not going to say it's the Neogeo by itself. Well, the feet just came off. I must have bumped the plastic, or the foot there. Alright, this is the docking station. As you can see, it's geared to look just like the original. Neogeo. You can see it's got a cartridge port. I mean, it's I've seen people compare it online and they look identical. Of course, this is just solid plastic. It's got the menu button here because, well, you'll see how the handheld works here soon. It's got the power on and off. Player 1, Player 2 USB ports. It will support dual sticks. Then the open. Nothing on the sides. On the back, it's got power, AV, and HDMI, and that is it. Another SNK logo. If we open it up, you just slide this to the side, it pops open. You look inside, it gives you a diagram of the handheld, and then of course you see the HDMI, AV, and USB. Excuse me. Right there. This is a very like rubbery matte thick coating. Of course there's the warning. Turn off the power of the Neogeo X when connecting and disconnecting from the station. And please use care when connecting and disconnecting the Neogeo X from the Neogeo X station. And they are not kidding. I have to be honest with you, when I first got this, I was seriously worried I was going to break it. Because the handheld has 3 ports there, and they are just connectors sticking out. There's no like customized docking port. There's no dongles that just connect these to these. I mean, it's just, you're supposed to lay this flat, line up the holes, and ram it in. The problem though is that you line it up and you kind of have to push kind of hard, but you have to kind of wiggle it on there at the same time, and it goes together. It works fine, but it really feels after a while it's going to break. You know, like if you're just a little off too many times, you're going to snap something, you know, because you figure those ports on the handheld are just probably attached to a circuit board, and if you flex them too many times, it's just going to be badness. That's probably the only real down thing I have to say about this thing so far, is that this scares me. And the directions, you know, when you do this, hold it steady and pull together, because you're really just pulling out 3 ports all at the same time. You know, the directions pretty much say you're not supposed to do anything without this station. Don't charge it, don't do anything. Now, personally, there's the AV right there. There's USB, there's HDMI. I don't see why you couldn't just plug a mini HDMI straight to the handheld and out, you know, or AV. The instructions tell you not to, but power, I don't know. I assume it must be getting power through the USB, but which you would think then any USB charger should work, but I don't know. The directions say you're supposed to do everything through here, so for now that's how I'm doing it, because, well, it's $200 and I don't want to break it. Alright, so the last part here, I'm going to fire up the handheld itself and show you some gameplay and kind of how it functions inside the programs and everything. It takes a little while to boot up, but I figure I'll turn it on here in a second, that way you can see the complete kind of boot process it goes through. Alright, and here we go. Just hit the power. And now this does take a little bit to get going. Okay, there we are at the screen. Now I've got the brightness up pretty high. We'll just kind of play with the settings here. So here's brightness turned down. We'll turn the brightness all the way up so you kind of get an idea of how it plays with things here. Not too bad. I find about 3 dots down is kind of optimal for me. Now I'm using this on a stand for Kid Icarus. So, you know, if you're going to review handhelds, you should probably just get Kid Icarus for the 3DS so you get the nice stand. When you're in the menu, pretty much you're just scrolling through the emulation that's available. Now the stick does kind of want to skip over. You know, I don't know why. I don't know if it's just geared to be more arcadey or what, but it just doesn't quite. You have to be very careful with it just to make sure that you do one click. I will pick a few games and take a look here. Let's see, let's try NAM here. So pretty much what you do is you just get the icon square in the center of the screen and you hit A.
U.S. Army scientist has been kidnapped by possible Northside terrorists. Taking the knobs.
Northside terrorists. Alright. As you can see, it plays really well. Haven't had any problems with any of the games so far. Oh. But that is pretty much NAM there. Now, when you get done with the game, over on this side there's a menu button. You just push menu and it gives you a choice where you can play or you can quit. It shows you your battery level. If you hit quit, it's just going to dump you out back to the main screen. And then of course you just go pick a new game. Let's try Metal Slug. It didn't look like the camera showed there, but that loading screen just goes by in a few seconds here, and then we're into the game.
Metal Slug. Mission 1, start.
Now see, we've got the volume was about halfway there.
Heavy machine gun. Thank you. Heavy machine gun. Shot. Thank you. Heavy machine gun.
So as you can see, it plays really well. I mean, there's a lot going on the screen here. Not notice any slowdown in any of the games. Let's go try a different one here. I can't really say I've had any problems with the handheld running anything on here. Let's see. Yeah, let's finish off the Samurai Showdown 2 here. I mean, we'll flip through again, just kind of look at the games real quick, but the future is now. Now, some of the games, of course, when you get in, you have the option of having, you know, Japanese dialogue or American. Ugh. Oh yeah, I forgot about the shoulder buttons can change the resolution. That was my fault. I accidentally hit one of the shoulder buttons. You can see it'll change it. So we'll exit out here. As you can see, exiting games is pretty quick. But yeah, there are your games. Samurai Showdown 2. And of course, you've probably seen most of them already since we've been scrolling through the menus looking here. But that is a quick look at the Neogeo X. I am very happy with it. Excuse me. But I have to say I never owned the classic system, so I don't know if I'd be biased or not. I mean, even so, you know, it's a pretty nice package, and I think $200 is pretty reasonable for it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the Neogeo X. Thank you for watching, and as always, we're always playing with different things and trying new things out. So, if you like, let us know. Like, subscribe, comment. We love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.